Anton, you have to review Fist of the North Star.
You just turned off the TV?
Omaewamu Shindeiru, bitch!
Hokuto!
Anal rape fisto!
Ranton!
I love A Feast of the North Star. It's an old-fashioned anime. I play, you watch review.
We all know the Omaewamu Shindeiru meme.
Well, guess what? There's an entire game built around that meme. I'm gonna dive deep into this game and make this an epic first review of this year. It's gonna be a new age. A new age, if you will. An age of me.
Wait, this game plays in a... Oh no. Weiter Himmel, heiße Sonne, hohe Berge und dazwischen Flüsse. Das Leben ist alt hier, älter als die Stadt, jünger als die Berge, die man vor sich hat. Country rock!
Did you know that China and Japan are actually a different country?
Nuclear war has devastated the earth, including this house! But some humans have survived, like good old Kenshiro.
The OG of fight game!
He's a real manly man. Super manly, if you ask me. He's got 2 cleavage. His GF, Yuri,
先が思いやられますね。
was kidnapped by a shemale, sheesh, who then proceeded to finger his chest.
Oh, that's hot.
His girlfriend is devastated, but he just goes magic guard. Now he has to investigate her whereabouts by touching Fortnite gamers in their no-no spot, saying something in Korean,
Logan Paul.
which makes them go,
Ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
all leads him towards the city of Eden. So that's where he shall go. Only problem that they just built a big, beautiful wall, which is totally not okay. Not even children can get in. I mean, what the fuck are those? How to get in? What to do? Omaewamu.
Shindeiru.
Please don't forget to leave a like. Whoop-de-scoop-de-poop. It's been a while since I played something from Sega. Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise, eloquently abbreviated as Ranton, is a third-person action-adventure that dabbles in a lot of different genres. For instance, a little bit of baseball in my life, a little bit of driving on my side, a little bit of managing horse in a brothel, a little bit of bartending with a massive cum shot. Wait, let's rewind this for a second.
Yeah.
And go through it step by step.
Happy now!
It is not a complicated game, but a bit convoluted. Slip heavily changes and adds features over time. In general, you can expect a fighting game in an open world, but let's read the fine print. The fighting mechanics are as follows. Where's Kenshiro?
On the floor there.
Yeah, okay, but what's he doing on the floor?
Just lying there.
Yeah, but why? Okay, never mind. You use one button to punch and another one to do a strong finisher. Let me demonstrate.
Unlimited power!
Next to the enemy's health, you see a skull, which is just totally badass, that fills up as they get a prügel until it turns into a button prompt that triggers a stun. Or you can just keep punching them until they transform into a propeller Blattstrudel. Depending on how long your combo was, this stun can be followed up by a wide variety of so-called secret techniques. You're doing them all the time, so it's not really a secret. They deal a lot of and even more if you do the QuickTime events right. Like in any good fighting game, there is, of course, an ultimate super power bar right there that you can activate and you get harder, better, faster, stronger. That's almost like as if you were on opioids. You can lock onto targets, block and dodge, but essentially that is it in the beginning, which don't mean much because you have 3 skill trees that are each kinda swastika. You will unlock so many more combos, abilities, counters. A fried chicken, please. As you level up, you get different kinds of orbs. They are color-coded depending on what category you can use them on, except the gray ones that can be used for all of them. You can think of them as sluts. For some skills, you need to pass a certain story moment first though.
What are you doing here?
Who, me? I could ask you the same thing. No big deal, though.
Not a big deal. Have you seen his neck? Kenshiro can equip 3 different pieces of gear and 2 accessories that improve his defensive stats, like protection from shots, protection from blades, and protection from the death. There's also a talisman system. Yes, they are not merely a faggy piece of jewelry, but they are used in combat. I know, fighting with talismans. What kind of fighting is that? What kind of man? What kind of way of fighting is that? You can equip 4 at a time, and they all have a different active effect, such as instant full superpower bar and more. The cooldowns are pretty long, so use them wisely. I kinda see them as cheats, so if you use them, I will totally just suck on your mom's teeth. The old fuck at the shop can improve them and craft new ones if you bring him the right resources. But how do you get resources? Well. Open world is where it's at, boy. It is divided into 2 parts. The city of Eden, which you traverse on foot. Oops. Oh, sorry. Oopsie. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, oops. Sorry. Ah, damn. Okay, are we gonna figure out? And the wasteland where you can drive. Resources are spread around everywhere to collect, available at shops, or rewards for jobs and minigames. Now, I slightly hinted towards them already, but they are quite important to the overall experience. It's hard to ignore them completely. They range from simple QTE to bounty hunting to gambling or poker. That's right, I don't think poker is gambling. I started with 100 chips and now I have 95. So, suck on that. There's a little management game where you have to assign prostitutes to the right customers. I'm not kidding. It's distasteful and I'm rich! There's even a racing minigame where you compete with other NPCs, the whole deal with upgrading your car and all that. But whenever you're not distracted by all this carnival, there is in fact a linear main storyline that is very heavy on cutscenes and dialogue, and that takes you across the land to fight many hordes of enemies and bosses. Some are pretty easy, some immediately charge you with a Hitler salute. On top of that, there are all these little favors you can do for people to find out more about the lore of the world. If you don't get enough of the action there, the arena is a place that's always open to you to challenge more people to duels or gang fights.
The fight is about to begin! And the winner is Kenshiro!
Yes, that was a long fight. Thank you. Yeah. I need to toilet.
Man, this game is so much better than I expected. It was the perfect holiday treat. I was partying, and then this game is a party, like da 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 da. Fist of the North Star? More like fist me, oh yeah. There is so much about this game that I don't like, because it is tailor-made to the Japanese market, and I have to be loyal. I'm gonna be honest about that, but it worked. I can't deny it worked.
I'm a fan of diverse gameplay. That's one of the reasons why I adored Bully, and I need a sequel. God damn it, Rockstar Games. Are you dumb? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, but
Think about that, please.
until then, I'll have to make do with Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. And although it is not exactly on that level, it is truly a breath of fresh air. Especially for me, since I'm usually not so much on board with games of this style. You know, the Japanese style. It's a thing. There are plenty of game design choices that I wholeheartedly disagree with and that bother me to no end. Like when Kenshiro is about to die of thirst, this old Fotze just goes, menopause, and then runs away. Dumme Fotze, man!
You put water into a cup, it becomes the crash.
But because this is somewhat a new experience for me, it felt great to try something new, like BBC Cuckold. It was really great for her. Slip wonderfully introduces more and more mechanics and features over the course of the adventure. What seems like a simple beat-em-up game turns into an awesome, half-open world action RPG that constantly throws new shit at your face, but you realize, hey, this isn't shit, this is chocolate. You can literally spend hours just working yourself up as a bartender. It's fun, it's laid back, it's humorous, despite the facial animations being a little excrement. It creates a pleasant contrast to the very dramatic story and gory combat. And this game is gory. I mean, a man is violently slaughtered, brutally butchered in front of his son. He goes, Augu Vatka, and his kid's like, I want to join Papa. I mean, this shit is just... The arcadey vibe is core to the product. Gamers have sort of left QuickTime moments behind and started to look down on them. I think they can be a lot of fun if done right, and that's the case here. But it goes beyond just the overall atmosphere. These minigames are crucial to freshen up the otherwise fairly repetitive gameplay loop. Of course, fighting is an omnipresent fact of reality that you can't hide from. Thank God, there is absolutely no reason to hide from it. It is kinda great. The combat finishers have crazy, over-the-top, epic animations and are a joy to watch. I mean, this shit is definitely going to
cause internal bleeding.
Think about it for ein Moment. Every enemy you defeat explodes. That is fucking insane. I mean, hey, full disclosure, motherfucker. I don't even really know that much about the anime itself, but it's fine. The level of badassery is real and I was coming the whole time. But I was also sitting on a vibrator, so you be the judge. Slip oozes love for martial arts, though it expresses it mostly through cliches. Okay. I can't help but be enthralled by this. Old school archetype heroes and villains. Typical for shonen animes. Worn out? Maybe. But I just took it for what it was. And I thoroughly enjoyed it from top to bottom. And if someone tells you that you can't, tell him shut up, suck a dick. Tell him fuck him, I'm the shit. The action offers a decent amount of variety and possibilities. I was in particular surprised by the skill system. These skill trees are huge and very rewarding. Some new moves are more helpful than others, of course, but it's very well done and satisfying. There's a tangible feeling of progress all throughout, and you can tell how Kenshiro gets stronger, though I'm not gonna address the unrealistic beauty standards it sets for men by advocating for a tiny head. I do think that after a while, the group fights get a little repetitive and the target lock-on is subpar. Fist of the North Star definitely leans more on the button-mashy side, just ever so slightly. But for exactly that reason, I love the Colosseum fights. Duels are truly the pinnacle of the experience. It's all about timing, mano a mano, and whoever loses, they get the sprinkler.
It's not all super duper Koopa Trooper can use a bazooka. What holds this game back in my eyes are mostly things that are by design. It is just that type of game. Doesn't change the fact that it's fucked. So as always, take my critique with a grain of salt, because you may very well like that shit. I mean, look at you, it's embarrassing.
This kind of open world is the worst kind of open world, because it is essentially dead and you can't interact with anything in a dynamic way. You can't punch people, all you do is walk around. The NPCs don't have a meaningful or visible relationship with the place they inhabit. It's sterile in the same sense like your dad thought he was on the day you were conceived. Also, the way the world is built comes down to a couple of corridors with mini-games at the end. It's visually very bland and has a generic desert look that may be due to the source material, doesn't change the fact that it's boring. And I just have to mention this little pet peeve of mine. If a game has this, then
strike 3.
If equipment isn't visible on the character, then good night. I hate it. A lot of Japanese RPGs have this. Oh, fuck you! It is such a minor thing that is totally ignorable, but totally a splinter in my sphincter. Just remove this feature then, okay? Thanks. The story in general is very typical for these kinds of anime. The main character is so strong and so good, and the bad people constantly underestimate him. Yeah, cuff him. That's gonna work. There are tons of stupid misdirections and ridiculous overcomplications that drag out the plot unnecessarily. This occasionally leads to some absolutely obnoxious mission design, like go to one end of the map only to find someone who says go back. I'm not kidding. This happens several times. It's some rookie ass time wasting bullshit, so eat my shorts. Oh. The voice acting is pretty good, even in the English dubbed version.
I'm come here for smash this guy.
I come here unarmed.
So what if I'm the monster?
Yet again, typical for a lot of Japanese games, extremely inconsistent, not in terms of quality, but in terms of when it's there. Some dialogue has voiceovers, some dialogue just has
Bastard.
Why? No one knows, not even ACG.
Come on, bitch, say my name.
And the amount actually significantly decreases over the course of the game. There are hour-long stretches where not a word is being spoken, but a huge amount of important conversation happen. So prepare yourself to read a lot of subtitles. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest problem of Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. It's inconsistent across the board. They added so many features that don't make the game better at all. Some are stupid one-off gimmicks that make you chukle and then you never touch it again. Hashtag sounds familiar. The equipment system system is useless, the inventory management is boring, his haircut isn't even approved, some optional missions have zero incentives and no gameplay appeal. Wow, I got some bland jerky. Well, that changes absolutely nothing. And it does get a lot worse. Enemy variety is pretty damn bad. You are facing the same looking dudes the entire game. There are slight variations in size and weapons, but that's about it. Checkpoints are also a nightmare. If you enjoy a good challenge, I doubt you'll enjoy having to run through half the map to get back to where you were. I don't much like waiting in lines either, so fuck your lines, I don't care, man. Not to mention the dickload of unskippable cutscenes that heavily diminish the replay value. It's such an unfocused game with huge ups and downs in quality. The whole talisman mechanic also seemed artificial to me. Okay. This is... okay, yeah, I got it. I'm not having fun. When they were introduced, I rolled my Chinese eyes into a dumpling. Another half-baked mechanic that barely makes a difference and only overcomplicates an otherwise simple and fun premise to kabliat.
As you can see, I didn't enjoy all of it, but also not Nunavut is the biggest, newest and northernmost territory of Canada. I was frequently going from, oh yeah, I'm having fun, to, well, that's a complete catastrophe. Still, I don't regret it. Not even close. The positives easily outweigh the negatives. But I hope that never happens with AIDS.
Let me tell you something. This is truly crazy. It took me over 40 hours to get through the credits on medium, and there is still plenty of optional side quests and activities to do. You can still free roam after you're done, you unlock a new difficulty, and you can start a new game plus. You just couldn't possibly ask for more.
Fist of the North Star is a very surprising, very strong 7.9. Or yes, depending on the severity of the period, sore tits, migraine, anal rupture, whatever. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like my hype, subscribe to my vibe, and comment this moment. Ranton out. Before you click away, just very quickly, these videos take a lot of work, so I would really appreciate if you could maybe consider going to Patreon. You get access to the Discord, a making of video behind every review and quickie video, and it just helps me out a lot. And also, I'm gonna put at the end credits my favorite comment from the last video.